Anyway, I am back. Hello. I fucking went and made some salad for my breakfast. It's currently almost 10 in the morning, and I will be leaving for work like noon 30-ish.
The rats, why did he need them?
Bloody rodents. Better to have stuffed them with a poison or crushed them into a pulp with a shovel, but no.
Did you see what he did with them?
What the hell? What is this?
Kira, what are you doing?
Geralt. You gave me quite a start.
But now the mage says bring me rats and healthy ones. Not something the cat dragged in.
This the lamp from the elf's hideout? And what's this about rats?
Nothing important. I'll explain later. Now tell me, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Why do you want the magic lamp?
Why do you want the lamp?
You just witnessed why. To communicate with lost souls.
That's a dangerous
Didn't know you were
game.
interested in that kind of magic.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Why'd the elf promise you the lamp?
We traded for it. He needed powerful magic and sensed I was no common wart charmer. I brewed him a potion. To delay nervous tissue degeneration, stave off memory loss or some such.
Who'd he want to use it on?
But why?
He didn't say.
Interesting. I can buy things from you. I don't really want to, but I can. What are you doing in Velen?
So, bet you saw this question coming. What are you doing here?
Let me think. Enjoying the country air? Admiring the unspoilt scenery? Or is it furthering the age-old alliance between the city and its breadbasket? No. I'm in hiding, Geralt. Blind to the state of the world? Don't you
Didn't
see
I already
what's
ask you
happening?
this?
Mean the persecution mage is now fake?
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Radovid's witch hunters.
Yeah. Why Velen? Back to the topic at hand. I've already
Changing
asked
some-
you this. Any word?
Any news of your sisters from the lodge?
None. We can't know too much about one another these days. It's safer that way.
Fair enough.
Even tried to contact one another?
I've wanted to many times. But I've no way of knowing who would answer. Or who might be listening.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, said you had a request for me.
Mentioned you wanted something from me.
I did, and still do. The Cursed Isle on Lake Windammer. You've heard of it, I'm sure. The local peasants mumble incessantly about it, about the wraiths that haunt it. They claim none who go there return.
I managed to. But while on the island, I did sense something strange. How'd it come to be cursed?
That's what I don't know. I must break this spell, yet I've been unable to identify its source.
Gotta know something.
Scraps. The curse is somehow linked to the tower where Serad, the lord of these lands, took refuge when Nilfgaard invaded. Claims in the village are that peasants, desperate of hunger, sailed to Fyke Isle to beg for food. Met their end there. It was a massacre. So, will you please help me lift this curse? You're so good at these things.
Uh-huh. If it's where I think it is, that explains the amount of ghouls there because of the dead bodies. Why do you want to lift the curse?
Why are you so intent on this?
I'm not. The local peasantry is. The Isle, miss. You've got to lift the charm. You're a good witch, a great witch. There's no end to it.
See, I thought you didn't care for the locals. The great witch you are.
I failed to lift the curse, and they could conclude I'm not so great. Not enough to conceal me from the witch hunters and risk getting sent to the gallows themselves.
What others think. Your image. That's all you care about.
The point is, listen. I didn't flee to these wilds just to stupidly get caught because some boar with grit under his fingernails grows annoyed with me.
Uh-huh. You're an interesting
So the
character.
peasants who went to the island for food, this lord had them murdered?
The villagers say he had them poisoned.
A real gentleman.
Well, I never met him. But he certainly didn't seem such a cruel man, judging by what a mage from the Isle told me.
A mage lived on the island? Did you know him? Where is he now?
We were friends. Sadly, he died that day as well. Very few survived. Yet even those who escaped the Isle soon suffered agonizing deaths. Strangely, they did not seem to have been poisoned.
All right.
All right, I'll help.
What are we
I
doing
knew
here?
you'd find it irresistible. Naturally, you'll need to sail to Kyle.
Fine. What then?
Well, the spirits who wander the Isle, you must establish a rapport with them. Don't know how, but they could point us in the direction of the curse's source.
I guess you'll give me the
Think
lamp,
you'll
huh?
be willing to chat?
Of course, provided you take my magic lamp with you. I shall let you keep it afterwards in appreciation. You'll find it quite useful, I'm sure.
Right. Why won't you go?
Can't you just come with me?
I tried to go to Kyle once. Thought my head would burst, the curse's magic was so strong.
Nice of you to send me there.
I experienced an acute nasal hemorrhage. You stand to endure a wobble of your medallion at most. At Aretusa, they trained me to detect even the subtlest magic pulses. This was like getting smacked across my haunches with a grain flail.
Funny. Thought you'd go in for that sort of thing.
Take my boat. I left it on the lake shore near the village. Should be fit to use.
Or I could just
Provided
fast travel
Rot
there.
hasn't eaten it, as it seems to eat everything here.
How does it work?
How's the lamp actually work? I mean, do I just rub it, or do I have to do something, magical?
You needn't even rub. Just place it where you find bones and hear whispers. I suppose I should warn you, it might not be the most pleasant experience.
Figured
Fair
as
enough.
much. Tell you all about it later. Maybe skip the drastic bits.
You'll need to do neither. I'll give you a Xenovox. It's a bauble that will let us speak over some distance. You will tell me what you see, and I shall tell you what to do and look for.
Great. Never heard of it.
Never heard of a Xenovox.
It works just like a megascope, but is far more portable.
That's a
Think
megascope.
of it as a magic box that talks.
They hard to build?
Extremely. That's why they're so rare. I certainly couldn't build anything like it.
So no chance these Xenovoxes will catch on with every mage using one?
Not the slightest.
Great. Where'd you get it?
So where'd you get the Xenovox?
Found it in the mine along with the lamp. Thought it was part of the lamp at first. Didn't realize what I'd actually found until later.
Think it belonged to the elven mage?
Probably.
Clearly. And I didn't even know the elves used them.
All right. Well, I'm off, I
To
guess.
know anything else before I go?
No, that is all.
Thanks. I think. I'm gonna drink some coffee.
Oh, go already. I can't wait to see what you discover on Kyle. Just be sure to come and see me afterwards. And Geralt.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. I'm not really doing this for you, but sure. Anyway.
Geralt! Just when I was starting to miss you.
I haven't even left yet. I'd like to buy something. What do you even
Met
have?
the old witch who...
She did indeed. I gather you'd like a look.
Very much so.
What do you... Whoa, what the hell is that? That's expensive. Returns all ability points spent to develop abilities. Whoa. Holy fucking diagrams. What in the world do we have here? Mm-hmm. Lesser runestone, great. Chance to stagger. Burning, bleeding, freezing, poison, stun, armor piercing, sign intensity. Okay, these are all runestones. Greater runestone, chance to poison, chance to freeze, chance to claws bleeding. All right, what am I doing? You had even better things than that? Whoa. Interesting. Cool beans. Not that I'm interested. What do you got book-wise? I like books. Lodge of Sorceresses. Junction of the Spheres. Travel Between Worlds. The Elder Blood. These all seem interesting. I will buy all of your books. I like books. What are these? Beast oil. I don't think I have beast oil, do I? I have enhanced beast oil. Well, give me beast oil. I'll take that. What else we got? Black blood. What the fuck is that? Northern wind. Isn't that a bomb? I think I already have that. Let me get this black blood shit. Draconid oil. Do I have Draconid oil? I don't think I do. I might. I just might not have been able to craft it yet. Hang on. I gotta go check if I have fucking Draconid oil.
See you, Kira.
Black blood. I also have to look at those. Black blood, which was a potion. Beast oil. Yay! Potion. Black blood. Which is blood injures vampires and necrophages when they wound him. Oh, that's interesting. Cool. I also have to read these. Books. I like books. Let me read books. As long as you guys don't mind. What do we got? Lodge of Sorceresses. Just as warty slime-slathered toads croak out into the fetid swamp in search of kindred company, so too do sorceresses seek their own kind, driven to gather and scheme against all that is good and worthy. The coven gathering, the worst of them, the nab of those utterly depraved and swollen thick with the pus of magic, was the Lodge of Sorceresses. The first fiends of this lodge were Philippa Eilhart, Lady of Monte Calvo, Tris Marigold of Maribor, Kira Metz of Caras, Margarita, Lo Antil. Alright, fuck the names. Elven woman, okay. Yennefer of Vengerberg. I see Yennefer there, interesting. On the summit of Bald Mountain they gathered, witches all, to swear fealty to their devils and demons, their masters and lovers, and to promise to bring doom upon the living in peace in the northern realms. 'Twas they who stood behind the murders of Demaved, king of Eredrin, Foltest, king of Temeria, and many other noblemen besides. 'Twas they who brought about the outbreak of yet another war with Nilfgaard. 'Twas they who sent plague and pox against decent, good-fearing folk. Yet take comfort, dear reader, for their deeds shall not go unpunished. Our gracious leader Radovid, fifth of his name, saw through their lies and swore their deaths. Deaths as inevitable as they shall be painful. Wow, that's fucking wrong in all the ways possible, but alright. Conjunction of the spheres. Scholars have many vices. Possibly the worst among them is a tendency to describe the simple in unnecessarily complex terms, to dress the plain in the garb of false learning. The conjunction of the spheres might serve as an excellent example with a much simpler alternative. When the worlds collided. What the hell am I talking about? The phenomenon itself can also be explained in terms simple enough for a child to understand. Imagine, dear reader, that our world is a ship sailing on a great sea. From its deck we can see other distant vessels. Those are the stars. These vessels each bear their own goods and their own crew. They usually pass at us at some distance, barely visible specks, even viewed through a spyglass. Once every few thousand years, however, a storm breaks above this cosmic sea. A storm so strong, it tosses the ships towards one another, making them sail cheek by jowl. Part of the crew of one ship can, at such times, move to another, and some of the cargo from one ship's hold can spill onto a neighboring vessel. This is long, wow. When the weather calms, the ships separate once again and sail their separate, invariably different ways. The so-called post-conjunction beings, namely monsters such as ghouls and basilisks, are precisely such passengers from another vessel, and we humans are castaways flung against our will from somewhere far away onto a world previously inhabited by the elder races. Once here, we learned the arcane mysteries of magic, unbeknownst to us before. Could the worlds collide once more, perhaps? Can this cataclysm be avoided, or the opposite, hastened? Some scholars believe there are beings who have mastered this skill, who possess rare genes. Allow which... Who possess rare genes which allow it... That's a weird sentence there. Allow which some to seize the helm of our vessels and steer us to safer waters, or to our doom. Travel between worlds. Running through many folk tales is a common motif of travel between worlds. By way of example, think of Orpheus, who ventured into the nether realms to save his beloved. Theodore, who, fleeing a hurricane, found himself in the drab and monotonous world of Zoe, or Acylia, who tumbled down a ferret hole into a land that had never heard of wonder. That's interesting. Anyway. Also, of this ilk are many rural legends about people captured by the wild hunt, only to return to their homeland after years riding the sky with the spectral cavalcade. Academia has, for the most part, dismissed these tales as mere... What the hell is that? Epiphenomena? Interesting. Of human irrationality. I, on the other hand, always operate on the assumption that a grain of truth lies in every tale, and so have decided to make it my goal to find it. After years of research, I have ascertained, with great certainty, that travel between worlds was once indeed possible, though only to select few. The key is the so-called elder blood, or rather, to use the scholarly term, the gene of Lara Dorn, the powerful elven sorceress. By comparing her genealogical tables against all known folktales, I have been able to determine that she and her descendants were the archetypes of the world-traveling heroes of many legends. The bearers of Laura's genes, Lara's gene possessed an extraordinary talent which allowed them to move through time and space and reach realms beyond the borders of the known world. The overwhelming majority of them, however, did not know how to control this. It would only manifest itself in extreme situations, pushed out by sudden bursts of emotion or when the bearer's life was at risk. That is how the above-mentioned Orpheus, in shock after the death of his wife, could in fact journey to another world, which he foolishly mistook for the afterlife. The hurricane provided the pressure needed for Theodore, terrorized at his home by his zany Uncle N, to unleash his talent and teleport to a world free from madcap antics. And if we read between the lines, we clearly see Acylia was a prostitute and a fish tech addict. The ferret hole represents how, when she had reached rock bottom, she whisked herself away into another universe to get sober. Unfortunately, for any future Acyliases, I think. Anyway, the sad conclusion of my research is this. Lara Doran's line has been irrevocably cut off. The last bearer of her gene, Cyrilla. I was about to go through Cyrilla's and be like, isn't that her mom? There we go. Ella Harris died childless many years ago. Cyrilla isn't dead, though. The Elder Blood. Oh my goodness. What exactly is the Elder Blood? According to some, it is a powerful elven curse passed from generation to generation. Those in whose veins... That's weird. The infamous N-Ikea flows is said to carry death and destruction with them, to sow hatred and disdain in the hearts of men. It was from this contaminated blood that Ithelin prophesied an avenger would be born, a destroyer of nations and worlds. Others claim the Elder Blood is an extremely rare inherited talent, granting control over time and space to a degree unattainable even to elven sages. Sadly, few bearers of the gift have been able to control it in full. This merely partial mastery inevitably leads to sudden outbursts of the power that take the form of unpredictable, uncontrollable, and thus extremely dangerous explosions. Behind the dark legends about the curse of the Elder Blood lies the truth of these tragic cases. For obvious reasons, the bearers of the Elder Blood were always subjects of great interest to the world's mighty and and to mages alike. The former counted on the truth of Illidan's prophecy, on the Avenger being born who could destroy worlds, and who could thus use and who they could thus use for their purposes. As for the latter, they hoped to harness the magic of Anakia to broaden their own knowledge and powers. Ultimately, however, all these plans were for naught. The Elder Blood line broke off with the disappearance of Nilfgaardian crown Cyrilla. Oh, so they think. Interesting.